Feels like heaven. Heaven is closer. Heaven is closer. Just heard that record. Don't know why I'm singing it. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, could you get out of the way, please? Thank you. Anyway, my father, he's supposed to be joining us tonight to explain. We're going to explain about cowboy films to you, you know, because that bloke was obsessed with cowboy films. He tortured me as I was growing up. Tortured me. I hated cowboy films. I fucking hated John Wayne. In fact, I still hate John Wayne. I really do. I've got over a lot of the Western stuff now, and I had to watch a lot of these films again. Excuse me, Michael Moore, you left-wing bastard. Yeah, so, what's I saying? What was I saying? I've forgotten. Yeah, that's it. Keep the home fires burning, that's what I say. Oh, yes. Anyway, I don't think we can do a father and son show on account of that. My dad died in 1997. So unless we're going to get some divine kind of intervention, you know, oh, Warren Beatty, heaven can wait. There's something like that, you know. We ain't going to see him, but I know his opinions, and they stunk. They did. Honestly, there was one TV set in that fucking house right up to my age of what 15, and that TV set, if it wasn't the girls, the women of the house taking over to watch fucking soap operas that I couldn't stand, it was my dad watching shit. I mean, he'd just watch any old crap. Any old crap. I remember once there was one and it had all this rear projection bullshit going on as these people running around a mountain on horses. And the mountain's supposed to be made of gold, and it's a real messy film. And I can't remember, but I just can't remember how it finished. So I do want to watch that one again. If anybody can tell me what it's called, I'll be very pleased. Yeah, excuse me. I was waiting for an alibi, waiting for a chicken pie. Yeah, I done nothing today. I done no. Oh no, I haven't. I've been down the garage. I went down the garage, and I got a couple of lagers and some tobacco. This will keep me going. I've got to go back to work tomorrow. Yeah. Yep. Stuck in Blighty though. Do you know what I mean? I should be travelling. I should be out and about. I should be on aeroplanes, going to do some work, but I can't do nothing at the moment. I'm stuck. So I've got to go down HQ. I don't have to really go in, but I will because, you know, my wife Mavis, she's working from home just now. She don't want me under her feet all day. You know what I mean? You know, I'm always out to bad habits, so I've got nothing to do. I'm up to no good. Generally, you know, I should be out there, you know, coaching a under 11s football team or something sensible for the community. But do you know what I mean? I get so angry with kids these days. I'm a really short-tempered old bastard. They're making a noise outside. Hey, we go play football somewhere else. I always used to think, grumpy old bastard. Do you know what I mean? We used to get these cunts coming out all through the 70s, these wankers. They used to think they were your dad. They'd come out and talk to you like you was a piece of shit, threaten you with violence. Either that or they'd call the police and the police would turn up and they'd tell you to clear off. Well, fucking hell, can't we even play in the park with a football? Honestly. Anyway, what's that got to do with anything? Right, what's it? Richard Dolan, come back here. I want to talk to you about Paul McCartney. He sucks. No, I was watching something by him the other day, and it was quite new. Whether he's got a live stream or some kind of thing going on, and I thought, you know what, you're about 80 years old now, mate, and you're still trying to act like, oh, like I'm a spring chick, I'm a groover. Not, you know, fucker, an old fucker who should be in an old people's home. Really, in an old people's home. He's already proved he's senile by marrying a one-legged woman. Ah, come on, come on. Anyways, let's see. Mm, 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 mm. I never wanted to put it out, but you know, all good things must come to an end. Ah. So, hello, quick Parkley. Oh, is this your message held for review? No, I have not, sir. I have not. All I've got, yes, the lightweight. You know, I mean, it's socially acceptable drugs. We're talking alcohol, and we're talking tobacco. Well, actually, tobacco isn't socially acceptable anymore, is it? It's run out of town. Do you know? I tried to have a sneaky smoke on board a plane. It's about 2 years ago. I thought, oh, I just really, really want a cigarette. So I went to the front and I went to the toilet, had a quick puff, and then the fucking queer was outside the door, wasn't he? Doing his and excuse me, have you been smoking in there? And I says, yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. I says, does it matter? He goes, oh yes, and I thought, oh fucking hell, they're gonna stop me at the other end. Police is gonna arrest me, and they're gonna charge me something stupid. Maybe even take me to court. Luckily, it gets to the other end, nothing had happened. But anyway, ya fooled me. Anyway, I mean, there's 5 people here, but you're the only one who's made yourself um, accessible to conversation, or we can have dialogue. Quick, Parkley. Have you been listening to any Paul McCartney albums today, young man? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah. Well, if you're not going to answer me, then I'll just carry on talking about rubbish. So, anyways, back in the 70s, right, and we had 3 TV channels, 3, until 1983 or 82, we got Channel 4. And when Channel 4 come along, guess what that 4th channel did? Every day about 2 o'clock, they put a crappy old Western on. And then you got BBC Two. They've got a throwaway film. They've got a gap. What do they put on? A shitty old Western. And these Westerns, they were shit. They were not My Darling Clementine. They was not Dancing with Wolves. They was not, what's his name? They died with their boots on. I watched that the other day. You see, look, there I am moaning about Westerns. I fucking watched one the other day. And if I wasn't happy with They Died with Their Boots On, I went Custer of the West directly after, which is great because it's got this kind of thing where, I don't know, because they must have had some new kind of camera. So there's all these really ridiculous bits, like there's these 2 blokes upside down on a wagon, and the Indians have just like tied them to the wagon, and the wagon's supposed to be going down the hill, down a mountain slope, without any horses driving it. So of course we got about 20 minutes of these poor bastards steering it upside down, and they keep going towards the edge and everything. And in the end, they do go over, and you think, oh, why waste 5-6 minutes of our time just by showing that? And then if that wasn't bad enough, they did it again later on. There's a bit where there's these guys in there logging, and the Indians attack them. So he gets on this chute for the logs, and it goes on for miles and miles and miles and miles. And he's floating down 1,000,000 miles an hour with all the logs, and he seems to have got about 10 miles clean away. And then he just gets off, and a train crashes off a bridge, and then he gets up and he gets shot by an arrow. There was all these funny little things in it. I mean, Oh, hello, Aizen Mick. Whoa. Look, quick partly. I don't mind you swearing there. I don't mind, but I've just got to keep pressing that button every time you say it. So put something like FCK or something, or any other rude words, but just put a hashtag as one of the letters. You know, the obvious one. Just confuse YouTube, for God's sake. It's not that difficult. Oh, well, anyway, latest TJR news. It was pretty desperate. Let me have a look. See what he's been up to. Yeah, in fact, we can all watch this. Maybe I'm just picking on him. Maybe he actually said maybe it was said something that made sense. Oh, he's bloody obsessed. Do you know, he was telling us, he's always bullshitting us and giving us fake news. That's what he does all the time. He comes on and he says, oh, and he told, I didn't know about this fucking Universal Studios fire or whatever it is, MGM, or I don't know. Well, somebody's had loads of music, and then there was a big fire at their studio, and he's going on about, oh, nobody knows. All the Beatles master tapes are there. Oh, the Rolling Stones back catalogues there. The Queen and oh, blah, 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 blah. And after all that bloody fuss and months of him panicking and getting people whipped up into a frenzy, we've lost historical music forever. What are we going to do apart from tape to tape? No, the only people who were affected was fucking Waylon Jennings, who's lost 4 records. Who gives a fuck about Waylon Jennings? Do you know, if that man tried to get through my door, he wouldn't be able to fit because his fucking head was so big. What a wanker that fellow. Oh, don't get me started on Waylon Jennings. Do not get me started. But anyway, if we've lost his music, thank you, God. So, proceeding here without my dad, because I wanted to introduce him. Hi, this is my dad, Chris. And this is my boy, Ray. And we're here today because we're going to listen to music for 5 hours. Shit music. Now, actually, his son was listening to The Queen is Dead the other day. And I was a fan of the album when it come out. So you can imagine, I don't give it too much listens these days. These aren't my teeth, by the way. This is my lining. Sorry, because I just looked a bit of a toothless hillbilly at the moment. I just wanted to say I'm far more handsome than this. Yeah. Oh, you can't see. Real teeth. And they're not yellow. I've got very good teeth. What's going on? It was Oh, hello, Michael Elliott. You crept in, didn't you? You crept in. So what's been going on? It's been very quiet all week, hasn't it? I mean, well, actually, no. Has it been quiet? I was going to tell you about Invisible. Is that say choppers? Choppers. Oh yeah, choppers. Because the problem is in England we call a chopper your John Thomas. It's a 70s word, and I remember the 70s word because I used to read my dad's porno mags under his bed, and there was a word for vagina that they don't ever say these days, and I could say it probably because YouTube won't have ever heard of it because it's so out of date. It's called Quim. That is like Dr. Quinn, but with an M. Quim. And do you know what? I was once upon a time, my brother, when he was like about 18 or 19, and he used to get loads of girlfriends. Some of them was quite good looking as well. Of course, I'm 5 years younger than my brother, so I mean, of course, I was a young boy when all these visitors come in, and yeah, well, I was masturbating by this point. I was about 13 or something. So so and you see her tits. Well, you wouldn't see her tits, but you'd see like the nubile shape of the woman, and Usually, if it was with my brother, it was kind of punk rockery, gothy, different colour haired sort of bird. But you look through all that bullshit and the fishnet tights and all that, 'cause that's not my scene. I don't like all that. It makes women look dirty. And I don't mean dirty in the right way. I just mean like a bit grubby, you know. And anyway, like there was one. I was listening outside the door with my mate because my mate had come over to stay for night, Jezard, and he says, "What do you think your brother and his bird are doing in that room?" And I said, "I don't know. Should we go and have a listen?" So we're both standing outside his door listening, and then he says, "My brother was saying to this bird, um, any chance of goblin?" Goblin. That means that means giving him a bit of, you know, give him a bit of fellatio, a blowjob. Is that what you call it? Yeah. Oh, I want to tell you something about, you know, that George Harrison album always gets all that rave. And don't get me wrong, I like the album. I think it's a very pleasant listen. I wouldn't listen to it not on headphones because I'd be a bit embarrassed, to be honest with you. I'd be a bit embarrassed to play any George Harrison because people would laugh at me. So, I mean, you know, if you're a Beatle fanatic, you can't see that. But if you're on into sort of classic rock and things like that, he doesn't really appear. Anyway, what was I going to say about that? It was a really interesting point I was going to make. Oh, look, Mister, I'm calling you out. Have you heard of it, Mister Bloody Eminem or whatever he's calling himself now, Michael Elliott? Because I want not Mister Eminem. What's his name? Mason. 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 Is he? Well, if he's called Mason, I think he's probably called something else now. Knowing that little bastard. Are you there? Are you there? Are you one of these 8 people? Because I want to talk to you. Uh, You like? Oh, that surprised me, Michael Lee. I thought. No, I didn't really think about it. Actually, I thought you kind of liked the Beatles, but you was more into sort of like a track X track sort of array of music. You know, not sort of anything in particular, but everything. You know. Mm. Oh, is what again, or is it still the original sin? I mean, I don't know where the original sin started with him. I think it was way back when we got when we was going to get Tom Hunyati on the show, and he didn't show up, did he? Ah, Blood Vessel. Yeah. Well, I thought as it's special weekend, um, I thought I'd put my cigar hat on, and actually, no, it's shorter than that. The old smoking cap, isn't it? uh, no, no. I think you know. To be honest with you, Michael Elliott, if me, a man of all right, yeah, I haven't been solidly a Beatles fan, but all the time since what about the early 70s, or certainly when I started collecting the stuff in 1978, I was completely wrapped up. My entire life was wrapped up with the Beatles. Pretty sad, eh? And to the point where I actually even stopped hanging around with my friends for about 6 months because I was so intent on getting all the albums and not spending my money with them. 'Cause I couldn't get that much money. I could get, you know, if I was lucky, I could get an album a week. So that's what I decided to do when you got the album. So then you got to get the solo albums and whatnot, haven't you? Oh, anyway, let's have a look at this. Uh, yeah, everyone's going off the Beatles now. Yeah, the point I was trying to make there was I just about had enough. I mean, the thing is, though, I before what I was doing before I started going on YouTube and stuff like that. Now, I would. think, oh, I'm quite excited because I got quite excited. Not that excited about the BBC. I didn't buy the BBC when it came out, but I thought, well, I'm glad that's out there because I had recorded it from TV show. But I was aware there wasn't any new material, and I didn't want to listen to shit versions of "Can't Buy Me Love" and "A Hard Day's Night." It's so substandard, so substandard. I mean, you want to look at the Beatles as a band, you could do a lot worse than look at the Beatles at the BBC because it is really what it would have sounded like, and it weren't that good, was it? I mean, there's no, you can't even use the excuse of screaming fans in that respect because what I'm finding, and I've never really thought about it before this thing, but I think that the um, the Beatles weren't great musicians or anything like that. In fact, they really struggled. George Martin wasn't a great producer. He struggled. And you can when you see this is why it's best for me not to have the music picked apart because then you know everything about it and some we don't need to know. What we need to know about is the finished product. We don't know about we don't really need to know about its prototype or these were there's two different words here because yeah it did excite me once but then again how much do you go back to it but it's too late because you spent your money but anyway like I said when I got the anthology I was very excited about it and I really got wrapped into it because I thought oh brilliant 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 but after a while I thought well I'm not playing that many records off of it maybe two or three if you're lucky and then the talky bits, which seems to pollute these stupid albums they've released recently, they kind of get in the way and they really annoy me. Um, so you know, and then I just thought, do you know what? This entire fucking lot of anthology could fit onto one. What's necessary there? And this is horrible, isn't it? Because we got well, okay, let's call them CDs. Let's say they're double CDs. So you've got two, four, six. I don't even think it could make half a CD, half one CD. I don't, because I was going to do like a top 10 and I couldn't find fucking 10 that's worthy on the entire anthology collection. Anyway, let me just read some of these questions going if I can read because my eyes, my minces are a bit pokey tonight. Ah, Brian, hello. Oh, that's weird. Good. Yeah, we used to get quite a lot of that Brian Borat. I remember we used to watch well obviously when I was about what 12 13 14 we used watching kids TV in the morning they'd have like Swap Shop and other terrible series and the ITV ones were awful. I remember what was it, oh there was one called Ferry Across the Mersey and these guys come on and you know nobody had ever heard of them and nobody ever heard of them after either but you know they used to get these shit bands on you know so I'll just get someone on for the kids don't listen to anything. So they get these four blokes, and this the guy who's introducing the show. He goes, "They all really look like the Beatles." They had the suits, they had funny hairdos like the Beatles, and then and there's four of them. Now the guy said he was a comedian who was presenting it, but he was obviously thinking maybe I should mention this. So do you think you like the Beatles? And they totally right, really fucked off about us. Just no, 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 nothing like the Beatles. Are you sure about that? You're not even partly influenced by the Beatles. No, 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 no. And I thought, yeah, but what they are doing is they're just trying to copy the Beatles. The Police. Oh no, no, I haven't heard of them. The Pleasers. What a terrible name. Hey, it's as bad as it's as inoffensive as Bucks Fizz, isn't it? I mean, you know, you ain't gonna get in any punch ups at a Bucks Fizz gig. I thought you meant XTC. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I like XTC. They're good. Dear God, have you the let we all need a big reduction in the price of beer. uh, Well, seeing as I'm worn out of talking about cowboy films, I think what we should do is pick 5 random hits, just like uh, Simon Schnee in his amazing Dancing Bear, and Matt Smith as Matt Smith. Matt Smith, is that right? Yeah, isn't it Matt Smith? I thought he's Doctor Who. Maybe it's because we call him Matthew. Oh no, it's not Smith. Matthew Street. Matthew Street and Stephen. I've got a German name. Sicar. Oh, here we are. Here we are. So let's get some good tunes on. Oh, listen, I'm going to show you something. I've been watching this woman just recently. She is as mad as a mongoose. Where is she? I can't find her. Where's she gone, you bitch? Hang on, hang on. Oh, there she is. There she is. All right, here she is. We get loads of women like this in Britain, right? They're mad as fucking mongoose, mad as a mongoose. She's talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
I've spoken about who's the other one? Oh, Ted Bundy. I think Jeffrey Dahmer could possibly be worse than them. He's
well, and then she start going on about how he likes to masturbate over the dead bodies of his victims. Oh, do you know, I like all that murder stuff, though. I do. It's really interesting. In fact, my wife, she does not like murderers, which is quite uncommon because a lot of my ex-girlfriends have been really into serial killers. In fact, I got this strange fascination from my mum. She was obsessed with Christie. She was obsessed with him. I think women get a sexual thrill from serial killers. Do you know what I mean? I might be one. You don't know. I could have a body count of 30, 40. Yeah, Albert Fish, go fuck yourself, mate. I'm the killer. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my phone. What am I doing? Right, let's see this. The Russells. The Russells. Yeah, remember Mr. Blood Vessel? Not Andy Partridge, but Alan Partridge says, let me clear my throat. He said, Wings were the band the Beatles could have been. Oh, Michael Elliott, I see Hannibal the other day. Did you see Hannibal? I saw it. I saw it a few years ago. And my second wife, she was so stupid. She was reading the novel Hannibal. Yeah, there is actually a book to it. She says the book's better. I says, how could it be better than that? I says, a paraplegic getting eaten by pigs on celluloid. I said, I ain't going to get that from reading it, am I? He was funny. No, so I really enjoy Hannibal. It's such good fun. It's like turbocharged Silence of the Lambs. I can't watch Silence of the Lambs anymore, but Hannibal's great. It's like you know, oh, I can't watch Jaws anymore. Actually, I can watch Jaws. I have not seen Jaws 2 since 78 when it come out. I haven't seen it since then because to me it was always a shit film, really shit. And but you'd think I might want to watch that more than Jaws 3D or Jaws: The Revenge. No, sir. On the contrary, I love Jaws 3D and I love Jaws: The Revenge, and obviously not for the right reasons. But come on, I want to laugh. That film was so fucked up, wasn't it? But I remember when I saw it when it come out, right? Now, every time 3D come out back in the 80s, it made a little bit of a comeback, but it weren't very good. and it's not like you get these days, you know. But I mean, it was really. I mean, was it Jason's dead or whatever? Not Jason, Freddy's dead, and they did a small section of 3D, a 3D Nightmare. It was a pile of shit. But you know, you got your 3D glasses on there. But we can't live our life with the 3D glasses on. So you've got to see. I like to have the choice to see it not 3D and 3D. But whatever way, you can't stop the tomahawks coming towards the screen, can you? Ah, ah. What that fish? Oh, what's your favourite 3D film? Anybody? Anybody? Vinyl Richie, I've heard of you. Piranha 3D got censored. Don't know why. Oh, she said piranha. Oh, quickly block it, block it. I'll see Piranha 3D. Now, bear in mind, I'm a little bit older than the kids that go to the cinema. And anyway, I was in the Boozer, the Harvester actually, because it got cheap beer in there. So I was in the. I wasn't eating in there, but I went to the bar and there's a nice barmaid, sexy, nice tits, everything, chatty as well. So I could sit at the bar on my own and just pour my heart out. You know, my wife doesn't understand me. I fucking hate everybody. Give us a drink, you know, that kind of thing. Do you want one, darling? I love you. Every time you bend over, I could see you red knickers. Oh, delicious. Anyway, what was the point of all that? There was a point. So I get, you know, I tell my story and then I forget the end of it, or I forget what I'm talking about. This is serious. Serious. Hey, nice guy, Mick. Everybody, nice guy, Mick has arrived. Yeah, Michael Elliott's here. Vinyl Richie's here. So, oh, that's what I've talked about Piranha. Now, I see the original Piranha, my friend, is a work of art, a masterpiece. It's better than Jaws. It's fucking brilliant. It's got Kevin McCarthy in it. Hey, ain't that enough for you? Oh, and oh my god! And that bit where the general, you knew that the general was going to fall into the bloody water and get eaten. I mean, what was making me laugh though was the heroes, or young people, or you know, sexy teenagers. They was all like crawling out, and they just got a little bite and a nip and everything here, and you know, but the general fell in the water. Within 2 seconds, he was munched to nothing. And it's the same with the killer bees. There's a bit where these people in bee suits all go in to tackle the bees, and one of them's got a tiny little tear in his. Next thing, he's dead. Ah, like that. And yet, the bees also get to a pirate party, and you've got these people fighting with them with swords and cutlasses, and they're lasting for about 5 minutes. See, it's Hollywood. It just fucking makes it up, doesn't it? Ugh. Yes, I was going to say about Piranha 3D was an outrage. Now, what I was getting, because the barman, he was going to go with one of the wait staff in a short little fat thing, and she come through. She, oh, you got to take me to see. And then two other lads come in, and I says, "Oh, we all go to the cinema." He goes, "Yeah, yeah." He says it's Green Wednesdays, which means they get in cheaper or something. So, or if you're under a certain age, you get in cheaper. So I says, "Oh, well, Piranha." I says, "Oh, it's a great film. You didn't need to." Yeah, but it's going to have Kelly Brook swimming nude in it. And I said, you know what, though? I said, so far, and I said, I've known Kelly Brook for about 10, 15 years. I said, I have not seen Kelly Brook's nipples. I said, she always goes like that. So I said, you're probably not going to see, even if it's Hollywood, you're probably not going to see, because that's one of her things. If you can cover up your nipples, but show out how great your tits are, then you're not seen as a glamour model, but you're seen in a different sort of light, you know, as an actor or actress or whatever they want to call themselves. So, and also she was, well, anyway, basically she'd get in the film because she's like Liz Hurley. She'll get in any old American film she can get her fucking hands on. So anyway, I did see it and I thought, all right, then is it worth a wank? We're going to see it. Come on, get your tits out. So first thing, one of the young kids, one of the young girls says to Kelly Brook on the film, nice tits. And I thought, yeah, well, that's why they got her in, because she has got a lovely tits. No doubt about it. You want to put your head in and go, oh, and she's got a good ass to match it, you know, because you've got to be in proportion. Got to be in proportion. And anyway, so I'm watching it and I'm thinking, what this all this bullshit, swimming underwater naked. And I thought, this isn't even Kelly Brook, it's CGI Kelly Brook. So they was all excited about nothing. What Piggy Joe? What's this? Killer, but you haven't seen the Killer Bees. Let me just get this right, because oh no, the Swarm. It's either the Swarm or Killer Bees. I'm pretty sure it's Killer Bees, because you got one with David Warner, you know, the evil butler on Titanic, and then you've got the far superior, which is still bloody awful, the Swarm. But if you're going to go down the Killer Bee route, either those two films, I can highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. You know, this I was thinking about this earlier. One of the greatest film quotes of all times. I always thought the bees were our friends, and it's worth thinking about. It is worth thinking about. Are they our friends? But they say the African ones aren't, you know, because they're illegal immigrants. Anyway, what we got here? Anyway, no, that was part of the problem with this film, because these aggressive bees come along, killed all the honeybees, and they were threatening to destroy all the honeycombs. And without honeycombs, did you know that the human race will die? Huh? Yeah. All right. Oh, nice guy. I sorry, I didn't talk to you very well. Yeah. Did you see his show earlier on? Or he was getting right arsey, wasn't he? He was rah, 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 rah. Some bloke, some bloke called Hey Joe Mojo or something like that. He kept saying, and I thought, what's he said? He didn't say nothing. He just said, you, what you're crying for? I always say, oh, what you're crying for? I mean, does it matter? Does it matter? And he went right off the handle. Do you know what, though? That bloke's gone stir crazy. I mean, I thought he was out at work, but maybe he's indoors at the moment. He's probably watching me right now. Yes, this is all your fault. This is what it's come down to, Mr. Mayo. I thought you said gay squirrels. Yeah, we don't want gay squirrels taking over. We've had enough trouble with those bloody North American grey squirrels. I was up in Scotland, and I know there's some in the New Forest as well. Red squirrels. Great to see them. Quite disturbing to see the half grey, half red ones, though, you know, because the red squirrel is vanishing. And I've also heard that the black squirrel is poisonous. So don't go near it if you see one. Yeah, save the bee. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you do you see that film Brian Borrow? Because you've been silent about this. You have seen Killer Bees, haven't you? I mean, I got that lesson either off The Swarm or off Killer Bees, because I don't know, the plots are intertwined. Like when Mr. Mayer was talking about, he was moaning about Diamonds Are Forever, and he says, "Oh, I hate the bit where James Bond does himself up as a Japanese." I thought, that ain't that film. It's bloody You Only Live Twice, the Japanese film. Terrible mistake to make. What? Hey, oh, you're wearing my Mr. Mayo shirt in my last video. Oh, when was your last video? Am I subscribed to you? I subscribed to a few people the other day, actually, just to just to sweeten things up a bit. All I've showed you so far is that bloody Kendall Mint Pendle Witch. Honestly, no, I was telling her, I says, listen, I'm going to do a top 10 serial killers, and you're a woman. You're a woman who likes serial killers as well. And I realised when I was talking to her that she's she's touched. You get that a lot though with women, especially English women. They're all on medication, and a lot of the nurses and stuff, they're all on medication because they help themselves, bastards. Do you know an aspirin costs 80p from the hospital? That's how much it costs the hospital to purchase it. But you can buy a whole 25, 30 paracetamol for about 10p. It don't make any sense, does it? Are you one of his arch enemies? Because I can't keep up. Because I mean, he gets rid of me, but I thought I'm not even really rude to him. Do you know what I mean? I've got an opinion, and I'm opinionated, and sometimes I get a little, I get a bit, carried away talking about some people. Sometimes. Well, it's like I said, it wasn't my fault. I was watching videos. And I was just getting this information coming at me, which was total lunacy. People painting eggs, people drawing pictures, and at the end of the drawing of the picture, it looked like a pile of shit. And you think, well, hang on, you just wasted probably about an hour. Mate, no, I'd say that painting would have taken me probably, it's colour by numbers, by the way. It would have taken me maybe, I don't know, probably about 3 hours hard scribbling. Honestly. Now, listen, if you want to do that at home, the best way to do it, all right, you get your Adobe Photoshop and you put your online yellow submarine bullshit picture with the logo and the Beatles and nothing is real and and all the lines and squiggles and you've got to colour them all in. Well, listen, don't waste your felt tip. Save the planet. You've got little buttons, right? You hit doop, 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 doop. Every single dot that you put on, then afterwards you can create, because I mean it's all trapped within like little black pen areas, isn't it? So all you do is tap it and it'll just go green, red, da da da. And you know what? It'll all be even colour. So it will look very nice at the end of it. In fact, I don't think it will because the original vision of this, it wasn't covered in black lines, was it? Around the edges, it didn't have an outline. Anyway, let's read some of this. Oh, got 14 people now. Here, are you there? Schnee. Captain Smee. No, not Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee. I've got 5 records for you. Do you want to hear my records? Do you want to hear? The first one is coming up. I think what we should do, we start off on the 1960s. How about that? How about that? Right. We don't want you, Pendle Witch. All right, let's have a look. 1960s number. Let's have number ones. Should we have number ones? Oh, I've got a good one. You like this one? You like this one? Oh, I'm trying to find it. It's a good one. Here we go.
While I'm far away from you, my baby,
Da, 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 da.
I know
She's hot, isn't she?
for you, my baby.
Is that Michelle Phillips?
Because it's hard for me, my baby. And the darkest hour is just before dawn. Each night before you go to bed, my baby, whisper a little prayer for me, my baby. Because it is
Listen, for copyright reasons, we can't have any more than that because I got told off last time. What did I put on? I put something on. Yeah, who's this? Mayo's Movies. Mayo's Movies. What do you want? You will always watch me, Mick. You need me. Yeah. So why are you abolishing him from having his say? Do you know what? This is the biggest problem of our times. Is the shutting down of free speech. You shouldn't shut anybody down. And that applies to all of you, all 14 of you out there, whoever you are. Don't shut people down, because when you start shutting people down, then they start burning, killing, and looting, because they've got to get their point across somehow. They have, and you know what I mean? It does not matter. It does not matter what the other person's opinion is, unless he sticks to it forever, even though he's wrong. And that's the wonderful thing about the internet, is now you can like just and say, well, that's the truth. There's the proof there, and you know, the question could get answered. Mind you, I mean, having an argument with a lefty is just like it's a no-win situation. My wife, she keeps having arguments about Israel, you know, because she sees it as a motherland, and anyway, like, and I keep saying, look, you cannot argue with these pro-Palestinian people, because you ain't going to win. They're totally opposed to the Israeli regime and what they're doing. I said, you ain't going to change their minds about it. There you go. Oh, yes, by the way, Ray, what? Hang on. Yeah, that's a serious mistake, Mr. Mayo. That was a serious mistake. I noticed it straight away. I thought, what's he talking about? Because I did top 10 Bond films. I didn't realise you'd already done it. I thought, oh, no, that wasn't that. I don't remember you saying nothing about it. It was you was talking about it the other day. Not that I'm watching you every bloody day, but, you know, I mean, when I ain't doing nothing, and I ain't doing nothing much at the moment, so I've got, you know, and of course I resigned from the vinyl nerd community. So, you know, just because, yeah, it's easy. I've got films to talk about now. I've got films to talk about, but what I was going to do next, because it's really, really, really tough doing the film reviews. I mean, you know, it's like I said, you look at some of these guys and they're just totally brilliant with what they're doing, and it is so fucking difficult. It's not like saying, I like this song, I don't like that song, put a little clip with it. No, you've got to try and explain what's happening in the film and put appropriate clips, which also means that you have to edit the film from start to finish, plus remarkable. It's really difficult. I mean, there's an easy way of doing it. It's just say, well, this happens in it and that happens in it, but who wants to watch that? Or put just like, oh, yeah, I quite like this one. Go out and buy it. Now, I'll tell you what, nice guy Mick, you know who hasn't read a book in his life? Jeremy Corbyn, because his ex-wife said, he doesn't read books. But if I told you that I've spent my life reading instruction manuals and reference books, and I've only read the Flashman books, a couple of Charles Dickens books, and a few old children's books, and a couple of Tom Sharp books. What else? Yeah, not that many books really. Not, you know, not the sort of novel books, non-fiction books. I haven't read that many. I'm not that kind of person. I wish I was, but you know, I mean, you know, sometimes you go to bed and oh, I don't want to go to sleep. Yeah, I'm on the laptop, and my wife, she's reading a book, and she getting through it like no one's business. And I thought, that's not me, because of the way my head works. I focus and then I lose it. and then I'm reading and reading lines without taking it in because my head's just it's gone somewhere else. I think they call that the attention deficit or disorder, but and it's something I can't control. I mean, I haven't got it. I've not been diagnosed with it, but you know, when everybody's coming up with a disease these days to get extra benefits, they're always using that. It's like I said, when I was at school, you know, nobody had free school meals. One or two did, and I remember their names. I remember who they were. I'm not gonna say your name, Neil Private, or you, Rosemary Howe, but but we knew that they had the free school meals. Now that was probably because their parents really, really couldn't afford it. A lot of our parents couldn't afford it to pay for the school dinners, but there was a pride where people didn't want their children to be the ones because this is what the teachers did because obviously the teachers wanted to keep the costs down, so the best way to deal with this was to humiliate the people who couldn't afford to pay, so they had to come to the front of the class, pick up their free dinner token once a week. And like I said, this is I lost my train of thought. That's what I was saying about this attention deficit. Oh, Lionel Richie. I'm not keen on the James Bond books. You see, this is the thing. I've actually I haven't read a James Bond book all the way through, but I've flicked through a few of them, and it's the right. I mean, a man who's obviously educated and quite eloquent, but they're not great art. The books they are hack work. You know, they're hack fiction, and I'm guessing that he had some idea about how the Secret Service worked, obviously, and he just think, well, detective books is very popular at the moment, wartime espionage, da 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 da, and he just moved it into a Cold War situation to update it. And instead of making the person like a military person of World War II, he's made him like one of the 1950s spies that they had, you know, MI5, whatever. Blah blah blah. Oh, Beetle books. I can tell you about Beetle books, JR, young man. I'll tell you. Right now, I really, really hate Hunter Davis book. I really do. I mean, it's actually it's um so much is covered up in that book. I've said before, it's almost a work of fiction. Plus, it only goes up to 1968, the original version. So, all right, yeah, you've got the extra pages afterwards, but they always feel really stuck on. And one of the editions, I had an edition about the mid 80s or something, and Hunter Davis is making excuses for himself why he had to do this and why he had to do that. But the way he talks about the Beatles, I mean, he sort of like really put. I mean, yeah, you should. He really puts um, Paul and John up there. It's like he's got all day to soak up their genius. But he sees the way he talks about Ringo is and portrays him as kind of like the idiot on the cartoons. And George, I mean, it's obvious that he finds him incredibly boring person with a very small brain, which he is. I mean, you know, if you take LSD, it's a mind expanding chemical. So, like I said, look at Cardiff Cathedral. All right, it wasn't done on LSD, but it was done on lanolin, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it is, but the old Victorian drug you used to buy in a bottle. The man was smashed every day. Look inside at the stained glass windows. Look at the work that's been done of a man twisted on drugs. Take mind expanding chemicals if you have a mind to expand. Because believe you me, I've had a few trips with fucking acid heads before. Sometimes can be the most amazing experience you could ever go for. Wonderful, wonderful. The heights of wonder, seeing stars lighting up and great colours and It's not giving a fuck. And it's like you're the only person in a room where people have stopped. And or else people, the one person who's talking, it focused like vroom, like the old Matrix, like that. And but like I said, I've been with other people. Wayne Green, for example, a guy I used to work with. The man was a complete idiot, And when he just sort of touched people's legs, he'd go like, listen, like that, and he'd have nothing to say. And if he did talk, he'd just repeat himself, like cokeheads do. You know, say, "Oh, I love this pub. I love this pub. I love this pub." You know, always tell a cokehead. Right, where are I? Listen, so what's this about a school bully? Oh, we had a school bully, but he's in prison at the moment. He was a horrible bloke. You know, it was called Kim Chesham, and he was like really overgrown sort of a bloke. He was the same age as my older sister, about 3 years older than me. And he's always grabbing the. He was quite a big bloke as well. You know, sort of big, stocky, but a lot of times the bigger guys, you know, the rugby type people, they're all right. You know, they sort of dismiss smaller people as irrelevant, and they don't really pay much attention to them. But this one wasn't. He just like tormenting smaller people, you know, like the majority of people basically. So anyway, he's like always go cupping people around the head. Now, sometimes some guys of his own age would give him a bit of a beating down the road if they saw him being a bully or whatever. But anyway, one day we was all standing outside the gymnasium. He comes along and he's doing this banging on the doors. You know, the doors in schools always and like echo through the corridor. And you know, in an effort to startle people, sometimes you'd hit the gym door like boom, and it's and everybody would turn around or think the teacher had come through, the PT instructor come through with his fucking cane. So anyway, he's walking down the corridor, and all of a sudden he banged straight into the glass, and then his hand went straight through it, and we was all watching his hand come out, and it was all right when it was in there, but he panicked, he drew it down, and then next thing his jugular. There was blood to the ceiling, mate. There was blood to the ceiling. And Bazza come out and Miss Gregory, oh, she had white knickers on. She was bending over trying to tie, you know, stop the... And they got there in time. I'll tell you what, he well, actually, I'm not going to say anything mean-spirited about him. But anyway, and one of our geography teacher, he says, I'm going to go and see Kim in hospital tomorrow. And hopefully he's not so immature as he used to be. Anyway, a day later, I said, "Oh, sir, what happened when you went to see Kim at hospital?" He said, "I'm afraid to say he hasn't learned his lesson." And those those words stayed with me. And many, many years later, oh no, I'll tell you another funny story, because I got this job at Sainsbury's briefly when I was about 16, you know, before I got a better job, Saturday boy at Debenhams or whatever. And anyway, I was working for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I had to cycle all the way from the old town to to where the Sainsbury's was. So anyway, so I'm going about 2 miles. I've got to go through this large park. Anyway, it's a misty morning. I see this couple heading towards each other. And I thought, oh my God, this looks romantic. You know, I was 16-year-old. I like all that sort of stuff. So I'm thinking, oh, and there's the mist cleared. And these 2 fucking fat lumps. It was Kim Chesham and his girlfriend. Now, anyway, married her, and the marriage was a complete fiasco. Then as soon as she divorced him because she realised he was a prick, he went into an off license which was run by a gangster, and he went in drunk, and he fell on all the cans which were in a sort of pyramid display. So one of the gangsters, they went round his house, punched him in the face, said, "You're a dead man next time." Anyway, things got worse for him because in 2006, and I'll just come back from London on the train, and there's all this palaver around the Hartfield Square, and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder what all this is about. So I sees one of the pigs or ambulance people. I said, what's happening? I said, oh, it's been a killing in the park. And anyway, this bloke in his 50s, a drunk, he'd been battered to death with a blunt object. Anyway, guess who they'd see running away from this incident? It's about 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, Kim Chesham. He should be getting out of prison in about, next year, because he had done 15 years. Wanker. I mean, some people, once a wanker, always a wanker. What's this? Confessions of an Opium Addict. If only. If only. Oh, nice guy Mick. Once this terror is over, you may be able to get yourself your own boozer. How about that? Imagine if you're pulling the pints and you're boss and you've got some barmaids and you're in one of those little villages. Now, a lot of them girls, they're a bit feisty because village life is like, everybody's fucking each other, wife swappers, all that kind of stuff. They're all fucking sick. So, I mean, yeah, and then you could get like a couple of 18-year-old barmaids in there and say, listen, do you want to sleep in the spare room? Sleep in the spare room, drill a hole in the wall. Sure, getting undressed yeah. Well, I mean, come on. I mean, what's the choice? You're going to go up and ask her for sex, or you're going to peep at her, and then work it out later whether you're going to ask her for this, that, and the other. I'll run a proper place. What, with no women? A bit old-fashioned. What do you mean? Oh, what people with bow ties and waistcoats and stuff, serving tables. No, I'll tell you what though. Actually, I have managed a pub before in Brighton. It didn't last very long, but I quite liked it. I was doing it as a favour for someone. I was at a bit of a loose end at the time. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what I did like about it. It was, a lot of nice girls coming in. And I mean, you could be the ugliest fucker in the world. They come and talk to you. They do. Oh well, if you get married, then you can. Your wife can run the pub, a respectable establishment. Because at the end of the day, right, there's so many grotty boozers. Actually, there's not anymore. They're all closing down. I remember when I was in Portsmouth. No, I was in Gosport at the time, and when I first arrived in Gosport, I thought to myself, this road has got so many tiny little pubs, like Irish pubs. They're sort of like one door, one window, and there were so many of them up the road. Now, about, I don't know, I think 5 years ago, I was passing through there again. The area's totally changed. The Navy have virtually left Gosport. There's a big hospital there's closed down. No, it's still open, but it's not a military hospital anymore. The DRA, where I was based, I think that's moved now. And where else? And all the main thing is all the pubs that were down that road have all gone, closed down. Amazing. So you can't even go in a grotty pub anymore because they're all turned into Weatherspoons. Now, if you Americans out there, I like Weatherspoons. We all like Weatherspoons, and it's bloody good value for money. I mean, you can live in Weatherspoons, and you're not really losing money. Go in there, get yourself a breakfast, go and have a burger for lunchtime, or pot of chili or something, or fish and chips, and they do good meals in there. And it's what, $5.99 with a pint of Foster's or a pint of Stella or any other drink, soft drinks. It's good. It's bloody good. Oh yeah, I know. I should have. If you're talking about my Buster Crab sighting, yeah, I should have mentioned this is Portsmouth, Hampshire, England, not Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Yeah. I suppose probably. I don't know why they named it. Why did they call it Bismarck? Because what we call Bismarck is a skid in your pants. Bismarck, North Dakota. I'd rename that. I'd rename it to, I don't know, Stephen Schneer, North Dakota. Chuck Schultz,